Most of you are not utilizing Claude properly in order to make your video ads, make your scripts, do everything for you. Because of that, you're just testing a new product every single week, trying new things. Because you can't find something to work straight off the bat. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to make high converting scripts with Claude and how I do it in order to make ads which generate me profits like this, 25-30% margins consistently for my brand. And there's a few ways that I do this in order to get the full result, because if you don't take every single step as part of this process, it's going to be very difficult to actually see any success in your ads, because there will usually be one little thing in the advertisement that is just completely screwed up. And that is probably the reason why your ad isn't working. It will just be one little thing. And so you need to make sure that each point you've got down correctly. So the first one's going to be the awareness level of the customer. And I'm going to try and break this down as simply as possible so that you can understand it as a complete beginner. Then number two is, how do I actually look at my competition and steal the correct formats, the correct concept? What do I look at and what should I take and what should I not take? By the way, I'm not saying take as in you steal content. That is not, I literally don't do that at all. I mean, take inspiration from what's already working for your brand and for your audience based on the awareness level. And then number three is the exact system that I use to make a killer prompt, which every single time generates me winning ads. I mean, I have a lot of winning ads in my ad account from this. And when you get this many winning ads, it's just a matter of scaling the ads. And then when one fatigues, you have another winning ad, you have another winning ad. And so it's literally impossible to fail because you have multiple winning ads consistently running in the ad account. You just repeat this process over and over again, and it can get you to very big numbers in ecom. And I know this because not only is this brand worked, I mean, this is the past 30 days of starting this brand that I've just showed you, but I managed to scale other brands to 15K in a single day using this exact workflow. So the first thing, which is awareness level, is learning how to spot where the customer currently is on this ladder. And then if we can spot where they are, we can make a very simple ad for them. For example, we've got an unaware, problem aware. So unaware, for example, they don't even know they have a problem yet. It's going to be it's uncommon for people nowadays to have this because social media is a thing. And so they probably know the problems that they have in their life. Unless it's a product which is pretty new, like Organized, which sell kidney meats, which is horrible meats, which are really good for you. And they put it into a package to drink. And the problem is, most people don't actually realize that they need kidney, they need liver in order for their body to really function well. And so they would be targeting people who are unaware. And so the lower the customer is on this awareness level, the longer your ad is going to be, because you have to take them through each and every stage of this ladder here. Now, you can't just jump from unaware to most aware. You can't just say, look, this kidney and this liver product is great. You don't even know you have a problem yet, but this is the solution to feeling better or something. But they don't even know what the problem is in a way. And so you need to take them from unaware to then problem aware. So what is the problem here? Well, they feel fatigued, they can't sleep, they have bad digestion, they have bad gut, all of these different things. And yes, they might already be problem aware. They already know they have those types of problems, but it's linking it to our product. And so then we take them to that problem from a completely unaware stage. Then we take them to the different solutions, which they might have tried, which is pills, which is whatever it is, toxic ingredients, things like that. And then we could take them to, say, product aware. So now there are products in the market which can do this, but this is the best one because it is completely natural, it's organic, and all the reasons why it's the best product that you can possibly buy. And then we go to most aware, which is like a nice offer at the top. But you need to spot where the customer is on this ladder. Most of the time, it's going to be solution aware or product aware, because most people have tried lots of solutions. They've tried lots of different products before. So let's say, for example, we're selling this red light mat. I'm going to take you through this and how I would think about it if I were actually to start and sell this. I'm going to take you through as well, like what I'm thinking in terms of the actual scripting, because like I said, the higher they are up on this level, the shorter the ad is going to be. And that's where I have to meet them at that stage. So there could be an audience which is solution aware for this product. Now, a solution aware audience would probably be thinking things like, for example, like really bad back pain. I've seen all the different solutions. I've tried all these different things, but nothing is yet working for my back pain. That person, they might not have heard of red light therapy yet. And so they won't be up here, but they know there are other solutions for their back pain. And so it's meeting them at this point. Like, have you tried pills? Have you tried this? And nothing is fixing your back pain. Well, we're not going to start off by saying your back pain is bad because of XYZ. They know why it's bad. So we're starting here, and that makes the ad shorter. And then we go from stating the different solutions which they may have tried, why they didn't work, just, very briefly, and then taking them up to product aware. So a little bit of education, literally, could be 12 seconds, whatever it is, and then bringing it up to the product. Like, this is why your products haven't worked, and this is why this product does work. So this red light therapy mat directly penetrates all of the skin cells, whatever you would say, and educate them on that. And then you can take them up to your most aware, which is going to be your nice offer at the very end. And so with this red light mat, you can also go for a product aware audience. And what you want to do is you want to start off these ads like a very fucking simple ad. And so I will always start at these product aware ads, because the thing is, if I start here and I target people, I call it product aware, they might not know this specific product, but they know there are other products out there which are similar and mine is just slightly better, that audience is going to convert so much easier than somebody who has no idea what a red light therapy mat is yet. If they don't know what red light is, I have to try and educate them on that shit. And at the beginning, when you don't have a team, you don't have an editor, you don't have anything like that, you don't want to do. You just want to make it simple as possible and find how that audience is going to react. And you can scale easily to big numbers with that product aware audience. And so I might just say, look, ours is bigger and better. It's bigger, it's better, it's brand new. Nothing has been seen like this before. It's on offer. Boom, done. 30 seconds ad and I'm done. Instead of having to educate them all the way through. So I hope that makes sense. Like that is just dumbed down completely. And that should help you craft your scripts. And this is going to be the same thing that I'm going to be doing in the prompts, which I'm going to give you at the very end. So it's very important that you listen to this next point and then how we implement that into the actual prompt section. Number 2 is how the fuck do we steal? How do we steal ethically? And it's not just ethical, it's just a stupid way to do it if you just steal competitors' creatives and their videos exactly for what they are and just pasting them onto your ad account. You're going to get bans, you're going to get a lot of problems. So don't fucking do that, please. It is like just stupid. And so what you need to do is dissect what is working in their ads. Like this is what every single big brand does. And that is literally how every person who scales from 0 to 10K a day or more creates winning ads. They just look at what's already working in the market and they dissect it and then they put it into their own ad. And so now we know where to meet the customer. All we need to do is figure out, okay, what type of hooks are working? And then we can just put them into a simple ad with our product and with our solution and with our learnings using the prompt. I'll be doing this in a second. We'll look at the hook, we'll look at the problem that they're solving, the solution, the CTA, all of those different things, and then we can effectively use that in our own ads. So let me just pull up the Facebook ads library. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to type in red light and just see what comes up. And then if I'm on the US, I can just effectively see what's going, because the filters hit now, the sort by is impressions high to low, which means these top ads are going to be winning ads. If they have a shop now button, it means that ad has been scaled, because of course they're not going to be at the very top in impressions. If there's a shop now button, it's obviously getting sales. Here we go. Look. One of the top ads, and it is exactly what I said. I mean, you don't even need to have a video for it because it's just a product aware audience. They already know what the product is. Black Friday prices drop for 24 hours only. And so even if people don't know this brand, they know this product. So they're just going to buy from this product. So it's incredibly important that you also do these bottom of funnel creatives, which is just simply an offer, a really good offer. Which is also why you need to knuckle down on offer. If you want a video on the offer creation, you can just drop a comment below and I'm going to make a video on that, of course.
Lock and load.
All right.
Leave those flimsy under eye patches and get real results with the Omnilex Eye Brightener.
So this is just a product aware. 15 seconds. I would do this exact same concept in an ad set, and I would be testing a very similar hook, but for my own product. It's different red light product, but you get the gist. It is very similar. And I would be also trying to figure out exactly who the audience is that I'm targeting. So I might try different angles. I might test around with different types of hooks. Like I might try different products to ditch. So they say ditch the blah, blah, blah. I might say ditch the red light therapy mask, ditch the whatever else is red light. I would need to do my own research into that. But essentially I could be just making those scripts. And the concept for that test would be ditch. Like what are people ditching? And whatever gets the most spend, I then know that, okay, people, my audience likely have this product, and that's going to be the audience that are most likely to buy my product, or at least they're interested in that specific product. Like it could be the face mask, it could be the eye mask, it could be even a shoulder pad red light, it could be a feet pad red light, whatever it is, that could be my audience, one of those people. And so I could test different angles to see what is going to work. So it's all as well just a testing game. It's always just testing and seeing what is going to be performing, and then we can double down on that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the transcription of this exact video, and then we're going to go into Claude. I'm going to make a little example script, and then we'll be using that prompt, which I was talking about a moment ago.
Leave those flimsy under eye patches and get real results with the Omnilex Eye Brightener. Switch to effective LED skin therapy with Omnilex.
Going to paste that in here. All right, and then I'm just going to come up with some example scripts. So I always advise that you come up with your own scripts, because if you don't do this, you're going to get left behind. I understand that AI is very good at copywriting, but I just like to put a little bit of human touch, even if it's not a lot. Sometimes I'll just use my voiceover app where I can speak and it does a transcription, and I'll just give it ideas, because my human touch is always going to be, it always outperforms. I don't know why, but when I just add, some bit of copywriting or what I think the customer is going to resonate with, AI will take that, because it knows that we can resonate better than AI can, because it's just a line of code. Although it's very good at piecing that together and formatting it, I always do this first. and then I'll paste the prompt after. So to start with, I might say, try a specific avatar. So, people who are wearing red light therapy masks, they're likely not going to want a red light matte because it's mainly for wrinkles and it's for skin care. And so what I would be thinking is, what are people buying for, sleep and recovery? What other red light products are they buying? So I'll just go to ChatGPT and ask that question real quick. I'm selling a red light therapy matte. I understand that red light therapy masks, or people who are interested in red light therapy masks, are not going to be interested in this product because it is mainly for recovery, better sleep, fixing your back pain, repairing muscles, things like that. And so I want to know what other products maybe people looking at in terms of red light therapy, what audience who would actually prefer to buy a red light matte simply because of the size and increased power. So yeah, I'm just going to be doing a bit of research here so I can find out exactly who my avatar is. But what I would also be doing is testing different avatars. So the prompt is going to likely tell you the avatars and exactly who you'd be targeting. So this could be for sleepers, it could be for old people, it could be for pregnant women, it could be for so many different people. And so in our tests, I also advise testing different avatars at the very beginning. We're drop shippers. We're lucky enough to be able to just test whatever avatar we want because we're not like a massive brand with an identity just yet. So I would find out first who that is, but the prompt is going to help you do that, and you can craft your scripts around that specific avatar. So now I'm just trying to figure out my hook. So who can we be targeting? Ditch the what. All right, so ChatGPT didn't really understand my prompt. So I'm just being more specific. I'm targeting a product aware audience who may know about other red light products, are uneducated on it, but need a better red light product that's bigger and more effective. If you're struggling with coming up with your awareness level for the customer, then don't worry because the prompt is going to tell you these things on a deeper level as well. All right, so they're looking at red light panels. Perfect. Red light panels are just super small and they're not the size of my product. And so one of my hooks would be ditch the red light panels and get real results. Or no, ditch the small and ineffective red light panels and feel real relief with the red recovery mat. This red light therapy device is designed to penetrate your muscles, calm them down so that you feel more relaxed and can start to get a better night's sleep. Switch to the effective blah blah today. Now the prompt is always going to help you find exactly, like I said, who your avatar is and what they want to achieve. So for example, getting better night's sleep, that's pretty cool to put in there too. And so now that I've got my example script, then I'm going to put the prompt in. If you want this prompt, then just go to the description down below and I'll just put the prompt in there for you so that you can let it do all the Reddit research for you, diagnose your awareness level, write the ad script based on the competitor transcript and based on your own reasonings and your own script. And so I'll just paste that in there. I'll just use Sonnet 4.6 for Claude and hit go. And now this is so important. You cannot skip this bit because if you simply just take the exact scripts word for word, it's going to be very difficult because you'll just be literally shooting blindly. And I know you might have done a bit of research into the product, but if you don't understand exactly why a winning ad is a winning ad, then you won't be able to make winning ads. So first of all, you need to exactly analyze the ad, look at the hook, put yourself in the customer's shoes and actually think, does this ad make sense to this specific customer? If it does, we can go ahead and ship it off. And I'm going to show you how I do that as well. But first of all, if you haven't given it the offer, it's going to ask you for your offer. So we'll call it red map, what it does. So the best case here is if you have unique mechanism. We do this stuff in the program. There's a lot of prompts which we use. But if you just want to do it simple, just think, what is your unique mechanism for the product? Do some research with ChatGPT. What are the customers going to like about that product specifically? And what is the science behind it? Are there any case studies about the product itself? And so we could go very detailed here, but we'll just be very simple. Okay, there's another thing which I forgot. It improves mood. So like there's so many different angles that I could be testing with this. And it's important that you really go through this process. And when something comes to your mind, ensure that you actually do test it and you do it to the best of your ability by using a prompt like this. So, it repairs muscle, speeds up recovery, improves mood through red light therapy. I'm sure it already knows what that is, so I'll just say that. Price point, we'll say it's about £400. That was the competitor price point. So, and yep, it's 20 it's like 30 inches, I think. So people can lie down. Yeah, I think that's the main thing. You don't want to just say things that isn't going to actually help the customer. Because, for example, like I say, there's no EMF on it, which is harmful radiation because it doesn't have EMF or like very low levels. But the customers don't give a shit. They mainly just want a red light device. I'm not targeting people who are like looking into buying a non-toxic solution to red light therapy. It's a completely different avatar and that's not who I'm going for. It's not going to be a big enough market. So yeah, I'm just going for the bigger ones like recovery, mood, to make sure it's a big enough market. I'm writing for the... Oh yeah, I wasn't very specific about that. red light matte, and comparing it to, I'll go back to my ChatGPT. So I'll just put the ChatGPT message in, which was all of the different things that people are trying or have not tried, but maybe trying. And then we'll be targeting them with that specific ad. Now, it's really simple when you think about it. Like, you don't need to overcomplicate this process. It's just simply understanding what is already working in the market and just finding your spot in the market. Because if you just want to make sales and you want to build a brand out of this, this is how you start. This is how you get to your first 1K days, 2K days, and even beyond that. Like, you can scale to a very big number doing this and get so many winning ads in your ad account, just repeating this process over and over again, using like something like CapCut to just edit the videos, make AI videos, piece it all together. I'll show you a little snippet as well at the very end here to what it would look like as, say, the hook. And that's going to give you a much better understanding of what it would look like. But repeat this process. As long as you're learning exactly why a specific product is working, why it's not working, then you can make that product work. You don't need to keep switching. If I kept testing these different things, different avatars, different angles, different people, I'm at least going to get spend like a majority spend on one of those angles and avatars, which is going to tell me these people probably want the product. They're most likely to buy the product. I'm not just testing one person, because if I do that, I'm reducing my chances of succeeding. Whereas if I do this, I can really test quickly and find my results really quickly, find the sales, find my audience who are going to buy my product very quickly, because I'm opening up my options. And this is just what marketing is. It's really finding that. And luckily we can do this with Meta nowadays. The best marketers back in the day, they didn't have access to this stuff. It is like impossible to make a product not work unless you picked a stupid ass product, because you literally have access to the internet and you have an algorithm, you have meta algorithm, which is going to literally find your audience for you. All you need to do is make a simple fucking video, press go, and it's going to tell you who the audience you should be targeting, and you're just going to focus on that person and try to sell to them like non-stop so that it becomes a non-negotiable for that person to buy. All right, sweet. So we got it back. It's given us the awareness level diagnosis, so product aware, the Reddit research, the frustrated gym owner, which is avatar 1, train hard tomorrow, chronic pains, that'll be a strong one as well. All right, now while we're getting this example script, I'm just going to show you exactly like what I mean by these types of ads. So for example, we're here in Hicksfield. This is the type of photo that I'm looking for. Obviously, it depends on the avatar, and that's why, say, per ad set that you're testing, you want to make sure that each one is a different avatar. And then within that, you can test different desires. So we got this guy, for example. Obviously, this is a very not an old person. It's not for chronic pain. It's for rest and recovery, maybe even shoulder pain, something like that. And I'll show you what type of video it came out with. And I would just basically lead on from this. It could be this video, which I'm about to show you, and then it could just be simple B-rolls, AI B-rolls of the product being shown in like a nice UGC premium way with a voiceover. I could take his voice, put it into 11 Labs, clone the voice, and just have that as a nice voiceover to go ahead, because that is pretty quick and easy to make. Or you could just keep making these videos, make a nice UGC video, make it look like it's just come from TikTok, because the organic videos are going to get the lowest traffic cost, and it's just going to get the best results. If you can split your traffic in half because the video is engaging, then you're going to get double the sales. You're going to get double the clicks, so you're going to get double the sales. All right, so we're going to start with these different hooks. So I'm going to paste these in here and basically just think if these hooks work for our specific product. So red light works, your panel doesn't. I like that. It talks directly to the customer. It's a very short hook, which is what we're looking for. Lie down, wake up, fully recovered. Okay, perfect. So it's targeting the avatar. Red light therapy, that finally makes sense. I like that. I like a more premium generic hook as well, because sometimes these perform really well. You don't have to overcomplicate it. And then we've got bridge 1. So this matches up with hook 1. Panels were designed to stand in front of. The mat was designed to lie on. One asks something of you, the other just works while you rest. Brilliant. Or I might ask Claude to optimize that a little bit. Like, one asks something of you. I might change that to something like, one is inconvenient, and then one heals you 7 times faster with direct support. Something like that. I'm a bit more of a mechanism. Lie down, wake up, fully recovered. Bridge 2, not bracing for the first hour, but you get the gist, yeah? And then I would basically put these in. So we've got these different hooks and different bridges, and I'll just go around and optimize a little bit. It's also going to give you the scenes, which it thinks it should be giving you. And so you can just go into CapCut, generate these AI scenes, and then piece these together. Now, I'm going to show you an example of this first one right here, of what it would look like for my AI video creation. All right, so I'm waiting for the video ads to generate. But basically what we're doing here is we're just going to look to see what this is going to come up with. So I've prompted it, and I'm going to get the results back soon. But another thing that you need to understand is that when you have a product that you want to sell, and you find that specific product, you need to make sure that the product feels new and it feels easy. Now, these are going to be the easiest things to actually sell because in these AI ads, which I'm going to show you, like I said, that it's a product aware audience. It's like a new thing in a red ocean market, and so it becomes a blue ocean in a way. And so if that's the case, you're going to get so many people who already have seen a similar solution, and then they're going to see your new one and want to just buy from you. And it also makes it easier. And also, if it's more effective and you have a stronger, unique mechanism, it might be the materials, it might be what the product does, like the direct touch, the skin contact on the red light mat. If you can find something that does that as well for the product, that's going to make the ad creative a lot more likely to convert because it's more of an emotional purchase for the person because they truly believe that the product that you're selling is going to fix the problem that they're having in comparison to the other ones. All right, so we've got the videos back. We're going to have a look at what they look like now.
Red light works. Your panel doesn't.
Okay, so obviously that's going to be cut out, but I'll show you what that looks like in a second too. And then I'm just going to save these videos and then I'm going to go into CapCut to show you what that's going to look like. So with these AI videos, you want to make sure that they're fucking crisp. Like you can't have weird gaps in here because a lot of the time it might not look so realistic. I like to use Kling 3.0, but you can use Seed Dance if you want. That can make it a bit more realistic. All right, so I'm just going to show you a very quick example of what this might look like. This is obviously very messy and it's not completely finished to the T, and this is just the hook. But it's just to give you an example so that you can go away, take inspiration, and do something similar.
Red light works. Your panel doesn't. Panels were designed to stand in front of.
So there's a couple of clips in there which I would have changed because the timing was a bit off on the Kling thing. So it's just about playing around with it. But essentially, I'd use these scripts and go and edit the right video, and that is going to be my finished video. There's so much more that I go through here. We cover some in the program, we cover some on the YouTube, so just make sure to watch some videos, and most importantly, take action.